Hello, and welcome to Real Talk with Rachel. Today I'm sharing why it's important to talk about the mental illnesses that can plague us. I recently finished Apple TV's The Me You Can't See, a program produced by Oprah Winfrey and Prince Harry. In the docuseries, a collection of people told their stories of dealing with mental illness and their road to recovery and learning to live with those illnesses. I still sometimes feel a little flutter in my stomach when I think about sharing my own mental illnesses with the world. That's indicative of the fact that there is still a stigma attached to mental illnesses. People who suffer from them, like me, often hide pieces of ourselves. It's scary to share those pieces. We feel embarrassed and ashamed, like we are weak or broken or damaged way deep down. We're afraid it will change the way people think of us. I have dealt with an anxiety disorder since I was a kid, with major depressive disorder, sometimes with suicidal ideation, since I was a teen, along with obsessive compulsive disorder, anorexia, and body dysmorphia. It terrifies me to share all of that. But here's why I do. When we are brave enough to share our stories, we stare the stigma right in the face and we say, "You have no power over me. I am not my disorder." When we see people living with mental illnesses and telling the true stories of what it's like living with them, we start to peel away the stereotypes and the shame of having those issues. People feel empowered to seek the help they need. They know they're not alone. And they're not alone, not even close. Nearly 1/5 of the U.S. population lives with some sort of mental illness. And those statistics are consistent for adults, children, adolescents, and teens. About 1/5 of us live with anxiety. About 7% of us live with major depression. More than 2.5% live with bipolar disorder. And a little more than 1% live with schizophrenia. About 9% of us live with disordered eating and eating disorders. And 1.2% of us live with OCD. More than 40% of people who live with eating disorders also live with OCD. It's important to talk about these things. Our hesitation to talk about them adds to the perception that it's off limits and not something we should talk about. But we must get to a place where we can normalize these conversations, because talking about mental health and mental illness empowers those struggling. It empowers them to find help and to learn how to cope and take some steps down the road to recovery. It empowers them to learn how to live with their unique and beautiful brains. Sharing our stories also has personal benefits for us. Some researchers in Australia, Genesis Windstorm and Ernesta Sophia, found that among other benefits, sharing our stories helps us see our recovery and mental well-being as a constant process. It can change the way we think about ourselves and foster a greater sense of acceptance. It can separate our identity from those illnesses and grant us a purpose and a greater sense of connection with others like us. And it can make us more willing to reach out for help. Do you see a theme here? When we live with mental illness, we need extra help. We need to feel like it's okay to ask for that help. We need to talk about why we need help. Over the years, I've developed tools and strategies for dealing with my mental illnesses. I know how to ask for help. I am in ongoing therapy. I lean on my partner, and I write and write and write so I can make sense of my world. But some days are better than others. That's just the reality I live with. I don't want to be afraid to say, "I'm really struggling. Can you help me find my way above water again?" The more we can have these conversations, the more likely we can make a difference and change things. So let's talk about it. Thanks for listening to my Real Talk. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for videos about books and writing and more videos like this. See you next time.